All right, we can kill it on Dame. All right, let's get to showtime. It's showtime. It's showtime. So you wanted to talk about this one for some reason. So you wanted to start off with where does he rank all time, or how does he play today? I'm not sure where you at with that.
Yeah, tell me which Magic truly ranks all time. Like what do you have him?
Magic definitely probably in the 9th spot for me. I still, and you know what it is? It's pretty tough because of what Steph doing every now and then. It's like I dibble dabble, see where Steph at. But I mean, Jordan, LeBron, Kareem, Kobe, Wilt, Duncan, Russell, Bird, and then that's when I start thinking about that's where Magic could be at. And then of course you got Steph, Hakeem, and Shaq, all in that mix of who arguing with that 9 10. So I feel comfortable putting Magic at 9 because of just the winning. And I think still to this day, you'll say he probably the best passer of all time, arguably LeBron and Joker. Ironically, LeBron and Joker could arguably say they're in that conversation. But yeah, Magic to me would be in a nice spot. I mean, he's clearly not known as a great defender. He's pretty much known for two things. That's being one of the greatest passers of all time and one of the greatest winners of all time, if you want to really give him that title of being a winner. But that's it. So, 9th.
Okay. So I guess this is my thing about Magic. I feel like Magic is being disrespected. I think you really disrespect Magic. And the reason why I say that I feel like you really disrespect Magic is I feel like you tax Magic for the fact that he had teammates around him. Whereas a couple people who you don't tax for having teammates around him is Kareem, Bron, Bird. So like those guys are not taxed for having teammates around him. Like if we look at LeBron, his first 2 championships, he had Wade, Bosh, and Allen for his first 2 championships. His third championship, he had Kyrie and Love. At least those 2. If we look at his fourth championship, he had Anthony Davis, which at that particular time in that particular year, we could have said Anthony Davis was a top 5 player. If we look at Larry Bird had Mikhail Parrish and DJ. And for a couple of years he had Bill Walton. And if we want to add Cornbread Maxwell, we could do that. So I'm like, we can talk about them, right?
Cornbread.
Finals MVP, Cornbread.
Wow, you're so disrespectful, dog. I've been trying to teach you.
Finals MVP.
Look, I don't mean to cut you off, dog. We've been doing this podcast so long. I'm trying to teach you stop being disrespectful to people.
I'm not being disrespectful. You being disrespectful to you being disrespectful to Cedric Maxwell. We look at Steph, who had Clay and Draymond for the majority or for his success, and for a couple of them he had KD. So we look at Steph doing that. Like we look at Kareem, who had Magic. Like Kareem was really not successful in the 70s. And if we really look at the 70s, there was no dynasties in the 70s. When Kareem entered the league, Bill Russell had just retired. No, I'm saying so he didn't go up against the dynasty Celtics. They had just retired.
That's not his fault, though.
So I'm saying they had just. I'm not penalizing him for that. I'm just saying that there was no dynasties that he went through in the 70s. Like I don't think there was anybody that actually repeated as champions. I think it was like somebody got a championship this year, somebody different. Like Celtics might have 2 championships, Lakers might have 2 championships. 1. Knicks got 2 championships, I believe. or they went to
Mhm.
2.
Mhm.
Seattle has a champ. Like there's for all of the things that for a dominant force, there could have been dominance in the 70s. There was not dominance in the 70s. In the 80s, Magic has 5 championships. Bird has 3. And I want to say they met each other with similar rosters during those times. So I definitely have Magic above Larry Bird. That's one thing. But I have Magic no lower than 5.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm not. First of all, I never taxed Magic for his teammates. I do think he had some. He had one of the best rosters of all time. My thing about Magic is, as I look throughout, why would I put Magic high? Is because of 2 things, and those 2 things is him being one of the best passers of all time and him winning. And we talking about players, and I say Magic is top 5 because of winning, then my list changes. It becomes Michael Jordan. I'm sorry, it becomes Bill Russell, Michael Jordan, Tim Duncan, Magic Johnson. And I mean, if you want to say that's your top 5, that's fine. I know I said 4, but I couldn't think of the 5th most winning player. Uh, is it LeBron? I don't know. Anyway, it's probably Kawhi. Shit. Yeah, I mean Kawhi top 10 because he one of the most winning players of all time. Because you gotta go by if he don't play. Uh, I tax Magic because he's a one-way player, and when I rank my greatest players of all time, if you pay attention, besides Bill Russell and Magic, everyone is a two-way player. Look, Jordan, one of the best two-way players of all time. LeBron at his peak, one of the best two-way players of all time. Kareem, one of the best two-way players of all time. Kobe, one of the best two-way players of all time. Wilt, one of the best two-way players of all time. Tim Duncan, one of the best two-way players of all time. Bill Russell is the first person who's a one-way player, but the fact that he won 11 championships with that one way of playing, I that's why I kind of rewarded him for that. I mean, he did beat out Will Chamberlain for that. Moving forward, as far as Larry Bird and Magic, I think Larry Bird was always a better shooter, a better defender. If you want to go by rebounding, I guess it's a toss up. Magic was the better passer, but I think Larry clearly showed why he was the better player during the 80s. I mean, again, if you want to say Larry Bird has a stacked team, he didn't have a Kareem. So, and I don't know where you would rank Kareem in the 80s. I get he wasn't the 70s Kareem, but in the 80s, again, top top 3 at worst, a top 5 center in the 80s was still a big man game. So Larry Bird, I will put above Magic just off of one-on-one basis. If you want, the only thing Magic will have above him is championships, and I think they got the same amount of MVPs. But Larry Bird won his 3 times in a row, and I don't like to judge MVPs, but arguably one of Magic MVPs was supposed to go to Jordan. But that's that's not the argument. I think Magic is great at 9. I have no type of reason to put him at top 5.
So this is my thing. When it comes down to Kareem, we have Kareem there based on his name. Now, to think the production that Kareem gave us during the 80s is similar or probably closer to the production that either Parrish or McHale gave us. It really depends. They don't have the name that Kareem has, but if we really look at it, what you're asking for from Kareem, Parrish and McHale, Parrish or McHale could have gave you that production. I would probably lean more toward McHale than Parrish, but
Clearly, yeah. I would say
I don't.
why you been at Robert Parish?
No, I'm not.
He
I'm
not
not messing.
he not
I'm
that
not messing
productive.
over. I'm not messing over Rob Parrish. If we look at his numbers, then we going Rob Parrish was probably 18-10, where Kareem was probably 24-7, something like that. I don't know. I'm not completely sure.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
I'm
God
saying probably. So I'm saying when it really comes down to it, the the names that you know is because we have Kareem up here because Kareem won. Like we're trying to take the 35 or 37 and 16 Kareem and saying that Magic had that guy. No, Magic didn't have that guy. That's not who Magic had. Magic had a guy who can still score, but he had a guy who was um, I don't want to say he was a slotty body on defense, but I in what it was, the 82, 83 finals, Moses gave him work. Work.
One of the greatest players of all time.
Work.
One of
But
the greatest players of all time.
yes, but you can't let a man who's you're in your prime. You're one of the top 3 greatest centers. You're one of the top 3 centers in this league right now.
And Moses was number 1.
And this man gave you like 30 and damn near 15 or something like that. Like, come for the series.
Moses is literally like one of the top 15 players of all time.
But I'm saying what we're talking about is during the time that this is one of your better years that you were with Magic. So I'm just saying that Magic is not in 82. What you call him played to 88?
Dog.
Or 83.
Dog. Nothing wrong with getting cooked by somebody who was better than you. Like,
and I'm just
how much you really knock Shaq for Hakeem? Don't you got Shaq above Hakeem? Didn't Hakeem cook Shaq?
What's the numbers?
I don't gotta look up the numbers. We know what it was.
Because Shaq cooked them back. They cooked each other.
Stop.
No, I can give you the numbers, bro. Like if we really trying to
look. I don't want to go too far off the subject. Let's go back to your Magic argument because I feel like.
So look, let me clear up my Magic argument. One of the things that we just saw, we saw that a one-way player can actually be a problem for a team. So we saw this by Joker being a problem for other teams. Joker is not a good defender. Joker is not a good defender. One of the greatest thing that Joker has about him is the fact that you can't double him because he can really pass. And Joker presents a problem to the defense. What Magic presented was a problem, right? So with Magic presenting a problem, he was able to lead his team to 4 championships. I give the first championship to Kareem that he led his team to. But had Magic not been on that team, then they lose that championship. So I'm just saying that Magic, although he's a one-way player, Magic was able to lead his team to 4 championships. And we also saw another one-way player who you're thinking about putting above Magic present a problem with Steph Curry. We saw him. Steph Curry is not a good defender. We saw him lead his team where if we compare Steph Curry versus Chris Paul, Steph Curry presents a problem that Chris Paul does not present on an offensive end. So if we look at it, like Steph Curry is a better scorer. Chris Paul is a better passer, probably a better rebounder, probably a better defender. Like everything that you'll say that
the only reason Steph above Chris Paul is because of accomplishments.
Right, but I'm saying even if we dissect it in the way that you wanted to dissect Magic versus Bird, like Steph Curry is a better scorer. That encompasses shooting, free throws, all that. That's everything is scoring. Chris Paul is a better passer, probably a better rebounder, better defender. Like if we talk about all around players, Chris Paul is better than Steph Curry. But Steph Curry presents a problem that Chris Paul does not present. He's the greatest off the ball player of all time. So he can actually command the double team without even having the ball. And that presents a problem to the defense.
You're minimizing everything. I think you're overrating assist. Let me show you how assist works. It's when somebody passes another person the ball and that person scores. So Magic got all those assists because he was setting people up to score, and they have to score. I'm not about to give this guy a reward because his players were scoring. Yeah, he set them up. The clear coaching game plan for the Showtime Lakers was fast break, and that's what they did. Magic got a lot of his assists off of fast breaks. So
okay,
and that's the thing. Is the thing. Why would I put him above all the other players. He's still a top 10 player. I give him that. He's a top 10 player because
So
of winning, but his claim to fame is passing, which relies on his teammates, and also winning, which relies on his teammates.
and the,
He's so team reliable. It doesn't matter. Like, yeah,
and the thing
I can't rank him above that.
and the thing about Bill Russell, what made him an 11-time champion is what he did for his team defensively and offensively. So defensively,
Defense don't, he can do
give it.
that soon.
Let me finish. Let me
Go ahead.
finish.
Go
So
ahead.
what he did for his team was he was the inventor, or Boston was the inventors of the fast break. That's how they played. That's how they revolutionized the game. Bill Russell got the ball and he threw outlet passes, right? So when him throwing outlet passes, they were able to score before the defense would actually set up, which made them the most unstoppable team at that time. Because if we look at their efficiency was trash. Like, they wasn't scoring in the half court. They getting out there before you even get a chance to set up your defense. So Bill Russell getting the ball, he's passing it off. Everybody's basically running to a spot. They revolutionize offense. When I'm talking about Magic Johnson for his team being as good of a rebounder that he was as at the point guard position, he's running the fast break. Not only is he running the fast break, if you playing with Magic, because you know he's going to find you, you're excited to run the fast break with Magic because he's going to find you rather than him going worry about scoring anyway. So I'm just saying that um Magic, as far as the 5 spot, that's not overrated to me. He could probably be high.
It depends what you put your list up on. If you base your list solely upon winning, then yeah, he definitely top 5. But I don't base my list solely upon winning. I base it off of all around game along with that. So that's why I have Magic. But again, when it comes to Bill Russell, defense is something you don't need your teammates to be great at, or to be, you could be a great defender, your teammates just be half decent and win. Your teammates half decent, you're a great passer. That still doesn't that don't help. Again, I
But
think
this
Magic
so
Johnson
this
with
is the
Pat
thing.
Riley's game
It's
plan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So if it's not the fast break, they slow it down and pass it down to Kareem. That's the Showtime's game plan. Like
mhm.
that's pretty much his claim to fame. If I
But my
again
thing, I
if I
guess,
go down the list, these other dudes, there's way more claim to fame.
but this is the thing. What you're not understanding is when it comes down to players, Magic getting his assists. It's about creating advantages. It's not. This was not some you have one job and it's to pass the ball. It's not some John Stockton assist where it's like the only thing that you do is pass the ball, and if somebody creates a shot after you pass the ball, then you get the assist. This is Magic. This is Magic creating advantages for his team, and with him creating advantages for his team, they are actually scoring because Magic created that advantage, and that's where I think that it's not appreciated enough. Whereas, like, and I can give Bird love too, but I still have Magic above him because, like, we can go from with all the talent that Bird had, because Bird had as much talent as Magic had. Magic beat
That's
him
wow.
more
That's wow. That's
in the
wow.
'80s. In the '80s,
That's wow. That's wow.
okay.
That like there's arguments that people put James Worthy above McHale sometimes. I like that's a real debate to people.
Why is he? Why would he be above McHale if you're not taking into account championships?
Numbers.
Okay, what his numbers look like?
I'm no, I'm just saying I don't have McHale above, I don't have Worthy above McHale, but I know for a fact if hypothetically you put McHale at 45, then James Worthy probably at 47, or vice versa. They're not that far apart. But we'll let the people decide on that. What do you have Magic ranked at? Like I said, I have him at ninth at best. I don't think he's better than any of the 8 players I named. You didn't name your squad. You have them at 5, you said?
Yeah, I have them at 5. I have Jordan, LeBron, Kareem, Shaq, Magic, Kobe, Bird. What that is? That's 7.
Yeah. Said Kobe and
Tim.
Bird.
I'll probably. Do I have Tim or Dream? Those ones. You know what? I probably put Bill. Tim, then Dream.
No love for Steph or Wilt. All right.
Oh, you know what? I could put Steph at 10. I could put Dream at 11. Wilt at 12.
All right.